So it's a pleasure to be here. And it was an interesting conversation. At about 4 o'clock, the gentleman who was sitting here, Mr. Chukapalli, said, why nobody is coming to work? Why would people want to, live in a 2-bedroom house, 1,500, 1,800 square feet? And I was listening, okay, that's a very interesting thought. Why don't my colleagues come back to work? Okay. Then this guy comes, Mr. Srinivas Rao, says, Hyderabad, they're building 4,500 square feet, 5,000 square feet, 8,000 square feet for 3-bedroom. I was wondering, why would people leave that and huddle in the small workstations and sit through the day for 5-8 hours, use that biometric and have the coffee at work, have that food at the cafeteria, then take time to complain this is not good and then go back home, right? That's the second dimension. And then this gentleman comes out of the blue and says, I am here to tell you Hyderabad is the best place in the world. See the spectrum. And on top of that, 2 gentlemen go up on stage and say, whatever you say, somebody is listening. And believe me, it's true. You sit across in a dining room or in the living room, have a conversation, somebody says, I want to go to this destination, brilliant destination, and in your head you're doing the math, how much is going to cost? I'm a family of 4, okay, 4 into X flight ticket, stay. Nobody discusses about it. You're very happy, go to bed. You've forgotten. Next day, that bloody Facebook, that Instagram, everything wakes up and says, you were talking about this destination. Why are you not doing anything about it? And this wonderful lady wakes up, sees the same bloody thing. We spoke about it yesterday, right? So did we? That whiskey, that made you forget it. But the reality is, this is AI. We are not here to talk about that. But I was just trying to summarize the 4 conversations that took place. And this is where we are going. But the important point, the gentleman with AI, the gentleman from the government, the others spoke about, is doing everything judiciously, leveraging the resources to the best possible way that we use only what we need, not what we wish to have, right? So that we can share those resources. This few minutes that I have with you, I just want to share some of the actions that we have taken. My name is Venkat. I work for a company called Capgemini, a French organization, and I lead their global corporate real estate based out of Hyderabad. And I'm happy to say I'm very happy to live in Hyderabad. And I'm able to manage the world through Hyderabad. So I'm excellent. That's a good start, isn't it? Let's go to the next slide. The idea is to give you an insight as to what we have done. And there are about 30-40 slides in this. You got to bear with me. We'll flip through very quickly. If you could go to the next one, that summarizes all the actions that we have taken over the years. We started this journey in 2015. That time there was no conversation about, sustainability, kuch karo, you're using too much of renewable, brown energy, this and that. We started this journey in a simplistic manner by hosting solar panels on the places we could find useless. The top of the car, shed or whatever. We started doing small actions. And one fine day, we did a lot of action in our Bangalore offices, and suddenly IGBT comes and says, you are now Green Platinum certified. So when somebody looked at it and, spotted our achievement, we said, hey, there's something that we're doing right. Can we do more? And that we embarked on a journey since 2020. COVID has been a blessing for us. And let me rephrase that, please. It's been a difficult time for many. It has been a blessing for me because offices were empty and we could do a lot of actions in relation to our sustainability initiatives. And what were they? If you look at the second one, 96% of renewable electricity. That's the global number. India is 100% on renewable energy. What did we do? Wherever we had opportunities, we installed solar panels. Today, as I stand, I'm proud to say 13 megawatt peak of solar electricity is generated in-house and directly consumed, which means it's high quality green. It's not coming from somewhere, leakage, cut ho gaya. Even yesterday, the Airtel line got cut. somebody got pissed off or the rat got pissed off and cut the cable closer to her house. But this, there's no option. There's nobody to cut it. It is straight to office. Produce, consume. As healthy as it can get. So we are on 100% renewable in India. And across India, we have identified areas where we could install those panels. And this is where COVID was an opportunity. When nobody was around, we could take the time to do some investments and leverage what space is available for us to generate our own resource. No, it's okay, just stay there. Only one slide. The first one, reduction of commute. Again, 2020 was an answer to us. When we don't commute, what happens? The green looks greener, the blue looks more blue, but the people at home are very red because you're not going anywhere, right? So that wasn't a very nice thing. So then we embarked on a journey to say, what do we do now? There is a need for us to transform the way we commute. We get employees from home to work, work back home. We get our colleagues from airport to office, office to hotel. So much movement happening. Imagine the amount of diesel, fuel that we're trying to use. If there is a way we can transform into an electric vehicle, but to do that, the government is looking at how do we increase the infrastructure for electric vehicles. I'm very proud to say, as I stand today, we have close to 1,200 charging units across the world, of which nearly 800 are in India. Our offices are equipped for our employees to come charge and go back home. Bikes and car alike. Not just for employees, not just for their bikes or cars, but also for the travel suppliers, the partners who help us with the vehicles. They can also get their vehicles charged. So we got the whole spectrum in place. Imagine generating your green electricity, having the charging guns, and charging your cars with a generated electricity which is so pure. No one in between. That's an opportunity. So that's purely on what we have done on emissions or on the renewable. There's a nice data point there, 40% on reduction on our operating environment. There was conversation about how technology helps us do that. I will come to that in a moment. We did a couple of things. We upgraded our assets to make it more modern. That's step one. 2, all assets have IoT. And when there is IoT, I have data. When we have data, Mr. AI, that's what we do. We take decisions. So the first step, get the assets healthier, younger, happier. Get the old ones out, the gray hairs out, right? Get the ones with nice, happy assets, air handling units, you name it. 2, make sure you can speak to them. Simple conversation. How old are you? Are you performing well? Are you doing your job well? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Any kink in that information will help us take timely action. By that way, you sort of avoid an operational inefficiency. You help the asset to live longer. And we do it, and here you might look at it from an asset of air handling unit, etc. We do it for chairs, we do it for workstations. They all come into play when you're constructing. There's opportunity everywhere. So these help in us reducing or managing our operational environment. Then, of course, there is a reduction in travel because 1, we have hybrid environment, and 2, we have electric vehicles. It sort of works well. We have a decent hybrid way of working, 3 days a week, come to office. Okay, 3, no. Okay, come at least 2 days. Okay, no, at least once. Okay, ठीक है, छोड़ दो. We'll leave that conversation aside. It's not working. The biggest problem we have today is what do we do with waste? There was some conversation about waste management. The amount of waste we generate is phenomenal. Food, IT assets. What do we do with that? How do we recycle them? So we said, okay, let's create our own organic waste converters. We did that. We encourage people to take the manure back home, or we use it in our gardens, we do in our office parks, wherever it is useful. We tied up with partners who will ensure all these assets are properly recycled, and we get the information from them to track what they do. They don't just fill up the landfill, right? What do they do with that? You need to go to the end of the line to see it's disposed of the right way. Then all that is just a fluff of PowerPoint presentation. You can leave that. But in reality, when we are in real estate, we are constantly challenged by the demand of changing environment. The role of offices have changed. The expectations in offices have changed. With all that, how do you manage with the resources that you have? We work with our leasing partners, the landlords, and we have something called a green lease, for which we won gold standard. It's actually won pretty decent. It's like first Olympics it was silver, the first time we were rated silver, second time it was gold, so we are sort of vying for the platinum. But the bottom line is, it has got clear parameters to work with the landlord. Hey, these are our expectations to have a green building. Are you willing to partner with us? Hey, let's work together. It's fine. But are you willing to shake hands with us to see whether we get to where we want to be together? None of this can work without technology, and I think I will leave you with that video, and after that I will hand it over to you for your next. Yes, sir, can we play the video?
Capgemini decided to partner with Schneider Electric as we resonated with their ethos of life is on. They deployed EcoStruxure and IoT-based architecture to manage, monitor, and control all these assets from a central location. Today we call it as Energy Command Center. The Energy Command Center connects and controls 23 of our campuses and 70 plus buildings in India. The collaboration resulted in 24/7 monitoring of all energy consuming assets across our campuses, 29% reduction in energy consumption, and we transitioned successfully to 100% renewable electricity for our own operations. We also export excess renewable energy across 4 of our campuses to the local electricity grid. The Energy Command Center serves as a role model for Capgemini, providing EcoStruxure solutions for microgrids, IT, building operations, power, asset management, and advisory services. With EcoCare membership service plan, Schneider experts are remotely monitoring all our critical assets and dispatching service representative whenever it is necessary. The EcoStruxure Microgrid Advisor provides guidance on managing distributed energy resources very efficiently and effectively. With Schneider Electric, we have also deployed green labeled products for our energy consuming assets. Ethernet enabled MasterPad MTZ breaker. We also deployed EcoStruxure Transformer Export, advanced power quality monitoring devices, and very efficient modular Galaxy UPSs for our operations. Interoperability of software within the Energy Command Center, integrating multiple applications for single point control is something we have achieved together. Capgemini has an ambition to reduce our client carbon emission by 10 million tons by 2030. This partnership with Schneider Electric aims to reimagine the world and ensure a sustainable future for everyone.
Any questions? Yes, I will come there. I don't have a mic. Yes, I can. If I want to. Yes, sir.
Just curious, what are you doing on your scope 3?
It's still work in progress, sir. We got scope 1 and 2, which has taken a lot of effort. As we speak, we are working with our partners, customers across the line to see where they have come on the scope 1 and 2. Because at the end of it, it has to meet, right? My scope 1 and 2 is somebody else's scope 3. Somebody else's scope 1 and 2 could be my scope 3. So those conversations have started, and we have started defining a very clear value chain across our procurement process to see where products are being manufactured, what do they do from a recycling perspective, and where do they come from. Do I feel like importing from China today? I don't see a need. If there is a need in India, can I buy from India? Possibly. So we are evaluating all that, Indrajit, and hopefully we will be there once we have cleared the 2025 goals.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Myself. So how you are able to ensure 100% energy, because right now we have to use the power grid side.
Yes, you're right, sir.
So how you are going to ensure 100%?
Oh, you called me a cheat. No, I'm just kidding. We have battery storage systems for the night. So we have installed close to 4 megawatt peak of battery storage across few cities, where we store the energy that we generate through the day into those batteries. It's green energy, and we consume that in the night. So through the day, 24/7, we use only energy generated from our solar environment.
It's amazing really, because the load on any
Yes, sir.
1 million square feet of any building, it consumes more power.
Absolutely,
But
sir.
how you are managing that much data, power storage?
You can
really
search
amazing.
for us on battery storage system, battery energy storage system, BESS, that we have installed in Mumbai and Noida. That will answer your question, sir.
Excellent. So despite you are having the solar power, still you have to make the demand charges for the government.
Yes.
So have you working anything on that part?
We've found very good support from, I like to be politically right, certain states, not naming them. Certain states we are trying to get some inroads to see how we can support. Early this year, I had the wonderful opportunity to meet our Prime Minister and the Finance Minister and other ministries, other representatives of the ministry, and we have put forth some of the actions that they can do to help us achieve consistently across India, not worry about who is in power.
Thank you.
That's a quote outside of any notes, please.
Carbon neutrality.
2040. 2040. I had a slide, I just didn't get into it. 2040.
All are carbon neutrality, sir.
I will try, Deben. I will ask you this question when you're in that panel. Okay, over to you so that we can start the next event.